Thank you again, Elise, for your share. You're brilliant as always. And then, of course, we've got Coach Corn. What's up from Planet Brad?
Hey,
What do you got to say on the habits of success? The atomic habits. I'm assuming you got one or two.
yeah, and just gonna keep adding, Tony. Just keep adding. So glad to be here, man. I've already taken a whole page of notes, and now I'm gonna give you some more. So we're talking about atomic habits, and I love that everybody's been sharing. Michelle shared the slide edge and getting things done. She knew I was going to talk about that. Only I'm going to surprise her a little bit and add one more that hasn't been mentioned, and it is The One Thing by Gary Keller. And I know Gary Keller started a real estate company, but The One Thing is more of a business book about focusing on the one thing. And what's interesting is Gary Keller and Jay Papasan studied habits in that book. And there's an old saying that we've all heard, 21 days to a habit. The only thing I would ask you about that, and that's what they studied, was okay, is it 21 days and what makes it a habit? And I would ask you, so at the gym, starting in January, what was the traffic like in the gyms, right? Just a little full. There was people everywhere. These buildings have never seen so much activity. Here we are in March, just entering the second week of March. What has the traffic been like in the gyms? So we're not even 60 days past January, and you're already starting to see the gyms empty back out and you're getting back to your equipment. So they studied, and what they studied about habits is it wasn't 21 days to a habit, it was actually 66 days to a habit on the research that they did and pulled out. Only don't write that number down because it's not necessarily 66 day you'll have your atomic habit down. Doubtful. But there is a free resource on theonething.com. And I don't remember how, oh, it's the, and then the number one and thing.com. They actually have a 66-day calendar that's free to download and track your items. So my insight was that 21 days gets us consistent at something. And it's just the beginning to really decide if you really want this to be your atomic habit. And I mean, have you set up a system and done it in a way that will keep you doing it? Because a lot of people don't stay in the gym and don't work out. So they haven't made it fun. They haven't made it a system, but they, did it for the month because they paid for it, right? So 66 days will actually anchor that even more. And what I found is it doesn't necessarily make it my habit yet. Um, like Amanda was talking about earlier, but you may be like me. I might be a 366 days to a habit, and everybody's going to be different. Yet it's the Seinfeld example, and I'm going to blow through this example pretty quick because I know we got so many people on stage, and I think we're going to make them fit if we all stick to our 2 minutes. So Jerry Seinfeld, perfect, like just so plain Jane example to anchor this 66-day idea. What he did was he wrote on a calendar, like if you just take a big old desktop calendar, it has the big box for every day, hang it up on your wall. This is what I do in my gym. I've shared this before, and it'll be 20 minutes on the treadmill. Jerry Seinfeld had to tell a funny joke every single day. And every single day that he said a joke that somebody laughed at, he got to put an X on that box. And he went for 60, I mean, he went for months. He went for a whole year telling a funny joke every single day. And he had to do it consistently. So he had to X out that box. Guys, I don't know if you like Jerry Seinfeld's humor or not. I think every single person on this call could agree he's a funny guy. Whether you like his humor or not, he has a TV show that is just his jokes that he told everybody throughout this whole process. So it's that 66 days to a habit. That would be my share.
Thank you, Brad. I agree with that. I think, and I'll just touch on that for a second. I think that when somebody came up with the 21 days, I believe that your body is can change that habit. So you can get your body into the system of waking up early, of going to the gym. You can get your body ready to accept that habit after 21 days. It's your mind that you've got to work on to get you to that you probably need the 66 days. In some cases, maybe even more.
Come on with it.
That's how that breaks down.
Tony, can I add one thing in that I'll be really quick. I just wanted to thank Coach Corn for saying that, the number doesn't make the habit, right? Each person, like we have different genetic expressions. We have, we come to life, some of us with more resistance towards some things and more attachments to other things. And so when we try a new habit, I think it's really important to just kind of look at it like dating almost, it's because it's a new activity. And sometimes we think that we want to like instill a habit, but like maybe the way that we're approaching the habit doesn't work. So don't give up, try a different way, right? To get to, the outcome to who you want to be. Don't just, say, oh, that didn't work, so I'm not doing that habit. Find a different way of approaching it. I just wanted to add that in because when Coach Corn, said the however many days, 66, but it could be longer, could be 366. That came up for me. Thanks.
100%. Bottom line, if you're tired of starting over, stop quitting. Right? Whether it's 21, 66, or 366, every time you quit, it just takes longer. It takes you further and resets you. The good thing is, of course, that you're not starting from scratch. You're actually starting from experience. But sometimes those experiences, if they keep being sour, you're setting yourself up potentially for a failure. So let's make sure we set ourselves up for success and stop quitting. Learn to rest, not quit. So thank you for that, Michelle. Coach Corn, appreciate you. Victoria.